Welcome back to The Grind. In this video, we're going to talk about Hugo, the offensive rider for the first wave of the SunScorch season. You can take a look at all the skills available on Hugo by going into the unhired rider section, finding Hugo and going to train. And you can see that his skills are Dragon HP and Dragon Attack, as well as Rage Regeneration. Now, these dragon stats are unique because a lot of riders have specific type of dragon stats, meaning Hunter HP, Hunter Attack, or Sorcerer or Warrior. This is great because it allows you not only to swap it from one dragon to another while still giving the benefit of those stats to the dragon, but also it allows you to provide stats to invokers because there are no invoker specific riders at this time. Also, having plus 10% rage generation is great. 10% is the highest available on any of the current riders in the game, and it's useful on essentially every single dragon. If you want to see what all the potential stats for a certain rider is, if you go to War Dragon Neon, I'll put the link in the description. It's great for checking out stats of different riders, and you can also play around with it and see what you can change to optimize it for your use. Now, for Hugo, if you want to go full HP, then you can get up to 30% Dragon HP, which is very high for a rider. Along that, you have 10% Rage Regeneration, 6% Dragon Attack, and 5% Dragon XP. Now, this is a very solid rider for dragons that require a lot of HP boost because you can put 30% Dragon HP and 10% Rage Regeneration is very useful on warriors and sorcerers especially. Most hunters wouldn't really benefit that much because hunters primarily need the added attack. Also, there are other riders that allow you to add ammo, which is very important for hunters as well. Another interesting way to build Hugo would be that you can put max Dragon XP, which is plus 25%, and that's very high for a rider. Most riders don't allow up to that high added XP. And if you don't have an EXP rider at this time and it's something you're interested in, it can be useful to throw that rider onto the dragons you're focusing on leveling up to get that added experience. So if you do not need Hugo for a different rider while maxing out the HP, this is an option, but for most players who are short on riders and need the extra riders for their dragons, I would say don't necessarily consider this. Even if you build at the HP, you still get some added XP, which is helpful on dragons as you're leveling them, but this is an added unique thing for those who have lots of riders but maybe don't have an EXP rider. And what I love about this website is you can add, like here for example, I added the remainder of the skill points to get a more attack and HP, so you could get the 25% XP along with 27.6 HP and 3 attack, or mix it up a little bit more. But if you're going for Hugo as an offensive rider, I would go with this setup. I have been asked by a lot of people if he's a good invoker rider, and yes, because they are generic dragon stats, he is good for invokers, and specifically they're asking about for Naja. Now, the thing that I use to determine whether or not you want Dragon HP or Dragon Attack, it all depends on the specific dragon's skill set. Some of their attack skills scale based off HP, so the more HP you have, the better. Although if a dragon is attack heavy, meaning that their spells are scaled off Dragon Attack, then they do more damage if you do add more attack stats. However, the main thing that you need to think about when you're deciding if a certain stat regarding HP or attack is better for you is fly the dragon for a while first. If you find yourself dying to towers that you can easily destroy still, then you would want to go with HP because it'll allow you to survive longer. However, if you get to the point where you're a fairly skilled flyer and you can survive bases without dying, but the only limiting factor is if you can't destroy a tower with one of your one-shot spells, or your ammo just does not do enough damage to destroy the towers, so that the problem is the only reason you're dying is because you couldn't destroy that high level tower, then that is when you really want to focus on attack. And if you're easily using Naja and the invoke shot is destroying towers with no issues at all, then I would say, and you're still dying, that is, I would say go for HP because it'll allow you to survive longer. If you're clearing bases, no problem, defended, and the invoke shot, suddenly you're starting to hit high level bases, the invoke shot actually doesn't destroy the tower because they've given the HP boost or they have the base boost on, that's when you want to consider adding more attack, because that will allow you to destroy that tower with the invoke shot, which will then decrease the base's defense, and if you're a skilled flyer, you can still survive the base as long as you're able to destroy the towers with the one-shot spell. So I hope that helps you decide a little bit better about which stats are better for you. But again, it depends on, one, the dragon's skill set, and two, how you are at flying the dragon and what your main problem is. So I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you're getting Hugo and what you think so far, and I will see you in the next video.